on Globe Life Field in Arlington?
It's a very beautiful ballpark.
Is look, the balls have not gone out the first couple games. Have you guys had any kind of thoughts on that?
I mean, kind of assumed that it was going to be pitcher's park. I kind of said that 4 months ago, and I think the first two games you can kind of tell that center field and the gaps are going to play very, very deep. You can tell by hitters' faces when they round first base and they're shocked that a ball gets not even to the warning track on a ball they crush. So it's going to have to, I think, maybe play a little bit more of small ball and moving runners over and trying to execute instead of relying on the home run every time to win us games. So we have a great pitching staff. So I think that as of now the stadium will help us, I guess.
Thank you, Joey.
Thanks.
Other questions, please. Alex.
Hey Joey, so today's the first game with the powder blue uniforms coming out today. I know you're a strong advocate for those when they came out 7.5 months ago. Was there any extra excitement, maybe in the clubhouse, that you guys were sporting those bad boys today?
Yeah, I think everybody's kind of pumped up to see how they look out in the field. Everybody's wearing we have like baby blue sweatshirts as well, so everybody's just like decked out. It's a lot of baby blue, I'm not gonna lie. It's a lot. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how it looks out on the field. I'm sure some people won't like it, some people will like it. It's going to be different for sure, though.
Thanks, Joey.
Thanks.
Joey, the manager said that you want to be the guy for the Rangers, the main man. He said there's also a lot of responsibility that comes with that. What does that mean to you, sir?
What he said that? Did I say that or he said that?
The manager, yes, Chris Woodward.
He said he wants me to be? Sorry, I'm just making sure.
So you want to be, Joey Gallo wants to be the man for the Rangers, the main man.
Yeah.
You know what that means. But he also said there's some responsibility that has to come with that, and you're starting to understand that. What all does that mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, for me, obviously, I remember when I got drafted in 2012 that immediately when my name was called for the Texas Rangers, I thought about being in my position right now and hopefully, I guess, being a main component on a Texas Rangers team. So, I feel like I've prepared pretty well for that. I think for me, I like to have fun. I like to goof around. I like to keep it loose. I'm not really like a hard vocal leader in a sense, but I like to think that I kind of lead by example. I show up on time. I work my butt off every time I'm on the field at workouts. I'm always playing the game hard and with passion. So I think that's, for me, I just try to lead by example on the way I play the game of baseball and never taking a pitch off and trying to, win every game and, represent Texas, the Rangers, proudly.
With Beltre gone and Mazzara gone, it's kind of a couple of guys have kind of protected you in the last couple of years. Do you feel like you kind of stand out more alone as like the big power guy in the middle of the lineup?
I mean, I think lineups vary from year to year, so it's I think we might have lost some power, I guess you can say in a sense, but we've added guys who, guys like Solak, guys that are coming into their own like Willie and Danny and guys like that. So who have that gap to gap power or making contact a lot more as well. So for me, I think everybody plays their own role. I'm obviously a power hitter and I'm here to drive guys in and hit the ball at the ballpark and slug. So that's the kind of role I play. But I think, like I said, every year it varies. You're never going to have the same type of production from a lineup every single year. So I think you just kind of go with the flow in terms of that.
Next question, please. Let's go to John Ryan.
Hey, Joey, anytime you're in offensive malaise or certainly whenever it gets to the slump level, the message from coaches is generally, hey, man, stick with what you do. Stick with your approach. Don't change things up. Do you fear, or have you noticed even already, that because of the size of this ballpark and the shortness of the season, that's going to be a harder task this year?
Yeah, size of the ballpark. I think you've seen some guys kind of, I think, already get a little frustrated. They crush a ball to center field and they come back in. They say, I don't have much more than that. I don't know what else to do. So that's gonna be tough to adjust to, I think. And with the season being so short, 2 games in, I don't think there's really any too many worries right now. But it is gonna be. I'd be lying if I say it's not different. It is different because I went 0 for 4 the first night, and I'm thinking, dang, 0 for 4 stings a little more when you have 100 less games to play in the season. But we understand that it's a weird circumstance, and for us, it just seems like as a team, like we're not really focused too much on the individual stats. It's like we just want to win, and especially with the playoffs opening up, I think it gives us a great opportunity to get into the playoffs this year. So if we win at the end of the day, I mean, everyone's going home happy.
Did you guys get enough confidence from those exhibition games as well as the inter-squad games? I know you didn't get to participate in all of them, but was there enough confidence gleaned from them to know you can be an offensive power team in this ballpark?
Yeah, I think it was, for me, it was different. Obviously, it's hard to speak on everybody else's because I missed the 2 weeks, and it was a lot harder to get ready for the season than I thought it was going to be. I thought 2 weeks I'll have time, but it happens quick, and I had to work really, really hard to get to the point I'm even at right now, which is still, I'm not fully even ready. I think I'm just kind of competing every at bat and trying to get close to where I can be. So I think it varies from guy to guy. Some guys, it seems like Elvis, he just stepped up to the plate. First game of the year, first at bat of the season, and he doesn't have to hit at all. He's going to go up there and put a good at bat together. For guys like me, I feel like I need time, I need repetition, I need to see pitches. So it varies between guys, and it was definitely a different type of spring training this year for sure. But we're playing baseball, so you can't complain too much.
Yeah, thank you.
Steven?
We talked about the ballpark and the surrealness of all this whole season has been, but as you've been out there these last 2 days, does it feel like a regular season now? And I know with no fans and everything, but how does it feel out there?
Yeah, I think with no fans, it's different. It's definitely different. For me, what I've realized, it's like I don't even, when you're in the heat of the moment anyways, during the season and there's fans, you feel them. But at the same time, you're so locked in that you don't really focus too much on it. And the crowd noise that they've been playing is actually, it kind of tricks your mind a little bit when you're on the field because they're playing it in the right situation where there's a big moment. Even when I was hitting, 3-1, when it was 3-1 in the bottom of the ninth with 2 outs, I felt like pressure from the crowd with that noise. So I don't think it's the fans is definitely different, but for me at least, when you're in the battle in the heat of the moment, you're not really focusing too much on the fans anyways. You're kind of locked in on what you have to do and winning a game. But it feels like the regular season. Everybody's very focused and everybody's like really wanting to win as bad as they can. So you can feel that intensity in the dugout and in the clubhouse, and when we step on the field, there's just, like I said, there's just no fans. So it is a little bit of a different environment.
It is a different feel now that you are playing games that count.
Yeah, definitely a different feel. You know when you're stepping on the field and the stats count and the games count and you're working towards winning a World Series. Spring training is obviously a lot looser environment and a different feel. You go 0 for 4 in spring training, it's no big deal. In the regular season, and like I said, it's a little different. It stings a little more.
Okay, next question. Let's go to Dave.
Thanks. Hey, Joey, you mentioned that you're close in your return to full speed or full tilt. What's left for you at this point to make up for that for the time you missed?
Yeah, I think physically, body-wise, I feel like I'm almost there. I'm still I almost feel like I'm in spring training shape. My body's still a little sore than usual. I'm starting to get used to it now, though. I'm starting to feel better at playing every single day. I think just at bat wise, seeing pitches, being able to stay in the zone. I felt pretty good the last couple of days, and that's why I feel like I'm close. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, I can take a lot of time off and go in the outfield and run balls down and throw guys out. I think that's pretty basic stuff, and I can do that very easily. But hitting and recognizing pitches and staying within the zone and facing a lefty and facing a righty and the different spins and whatnot on pitches. Swing decisions. That's the stuff that takes time. That's why there's usually 6 weeks to get ready for an MLB season. When you have, in my case, about less than 2 weeks, everything's very rushed. And I'm just, like I said, I'm doing the best I can to be prepared every single at bat. But like I said, I feel really close to being locked in on all those things. I'm seeing the ball pretty well, and I feel comfortable at the plate.
That's the one other thing I wanted to ask is, dimensions aside, what about the optics and just the general feel standing in the box here? Is it a comfortable place to hit for you?
Yeah, it's definitely different because you were used to playing outside. I think that's one of the strange things about this season is we're still getting used to the stadium as well. We had the spring training, we worked out here, but playing real games in the stadium, it's different. It's at game speed, so it is a little different because you're kind of used to normal daylight. So when you're in a dome, in a roofed stadium, it's a different lighting almost. You don't have that natural sun, so you kind of have to get used to that as well. And I'm starting to get used to that a little bit because I've never played in a dome except when we went on the road for 3 games at a time. So it's definitely a little bit different visually, not having that actual natural daylight during the day.
Thanks, man.
Time for 2 more. Levi and then Eric.
Hey, I wanted to go back to the crowd noise for a second. You said you actually sort of felt some pressure on a 3-1 count. Does it ever cross your mind, like, that's just one guy up there pushing a button? Like, do you get to that level of, like, or are you too zoned into the game to even think about it?
No, I don't. Is it only one guy doing the buttons? That's pretty impressive. He's doing all that. But for me, I think about all the people watching and all the fans, supporting us and the Rangers. And that's what, for me, I always want to make those fans proud. So even when there's nobody in the stands, I think everybody knows that there's people watching. We have fans at home, in their living room, at wherever they're at a restaurant watching and supporting us. So it's more than just, like I said, it's more than just how many people are there in your presence watching you. There's a whole, group and thousands of people watching you as well at home supporting. So I think about that when I'm playing the game, especially now this year when you, like I said, when you don't have those fans there to feel that environment.
Right on. Thanks, man.
Last one, Eric.
Hey, Joey, I'm following up on what Dave was asking about the ability to see in here. It seems, first of all, outfielders have gotten great reads so far. We haven't seen anybody really get a misread. With those cardboard fans behind the plate, we wondered what it would be like for you guys picking the ball up off the bat. But what is it like out there? And also, how is everybody seeing the ball? Do you think like the hitters back up and everything are okay? That's not one of the reasons there hasn't been a lot of offense?
Yeah, so in terms of defensively, I think the cardboard fans haven't been a problem. I was a little concerned about it, because there's some white there and there was some glare, but they've done a really good job. And like I said, you can tell from the jumps and even in the infield, guys are seeing the ball well off the bat. We haven't really had too many balls that are like in that roof where you kind of miss it. You can't really see and you might take your eye off it. So I think that's something to still kind of keep our eye out for. And that's where we have an advantage. We did train here for a little bit, so we're kind of used to the roof a little more. And in terms of hitting, like I said, I think the only difference is the lighting is just different. When you're inside and you're outside, there's a difference between the lighting you're getting. So it's not. I'm not saying it's a negative thing or anything. It's just something that we're still getting used to, I feel like. But it seems like we're seeing the ball well, and we've had some pretty good at bats, and we've hit balls hard. It just haven't had luck and things haven't gone our way yet. So we're just gonna have to keep, plugging along and see how things go.
Joey, we talked to you earlier today about the ballpark not having any home runs, and you finally got into one. How did that feel getting that out of the way?
Yeah, obviously to hit a home run always feels great, but kind of I don't know, like a different type of home run, being the first one ever here. So it made it a lot more special. So I just gotta hit balls like that to get them out of here. So if I can keep doing that, we'll be all right.
Did you get the ball?
No, I don't have it yet. I don't know. I might get it, but I don't have it yet.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Joe, you notice anything in particular about your offense as a whole here these first 3 games?
I think maybe guys trying to do too much, myself included at times. We have, guys on base, guys in running and scoring position, just not executing. And, I think, both these games that we lost could have went either way. We could have been easily 3-0 if we kind of execute in some of those situations. And, that includes me. I struck out with a guy on third in the first game with less than 2 outs. So, it's just little things like that. Especially like we talked about before in this ballpark, we can't necessarily rely on, the home run every time now, like we would before. So we have to do those jobs and move those runners and get guys in when they're on third base with less than 2 outs. And I just feel like we haven't done that yet. And I think it's a little bit guys pressing because they know it's a shorter season and you want to get off to a good start, obviously. So I think it's a little bit of both. Guys just trying too hard to do too much, and myself included.
Next question, please. Let's go to Chris.
Hey Joey, how do you feel like you're doing? Like after these first 3 games, how do you feel like? Do you feel like you're in a good spot? You were 2 weeks behind everybody else. So how do you feel like you are with the timing and everything like that?
Yeah, for considering kind of had 2 weeks, probably less than 2 weeks to get ready for MLB season. I'm pretty happy individually, like where I'm at. I'm kind of surprised how I feel at the plate. I feel like I'm in a pretty good rhythm right now, and I'm seeing the ball well. I'm not swinging at too many balls, and I'm kind of having that same approach that I had last year that I had success with. So I'm pretty happy with it. I even when I was quarantined, I was working though. I was hitting off a tee. I was hitting the wiffle ball machine. I was working out still. So, I was kind of preparing to be rushed. So I was kind of ready for it. But yeah, like I said, I'm a little surprised that I feel as good as I do right now.
Evan Grant.
I'll leave all the questions about what a bandbox this place is now to somebody else. But what is your thought on how the situation with Kluber impacts this team, considering the rotation was supposed to be such an asset?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we don't know. We haven't had any word on if he's going to be out for a significant amount of time or not. But obviously, I mean, that'd be a huge loss. I mean, not going to sugarcoat. He's a Cy Young Award winner. A guy that you're relying on. But like I always say, we got a lot of guys. I thought Palumbo came in and did a really, really good job on short notice to come in there and compete like that. So we have guys that we believe in, and we're gonna trust too if Kluber does have to miss time. But to sit here and say that it wouldn't be a huge loss is obviously everybody would know that we're lying.
Other questions, Alex?
Joey, you said earlier today you were excited for the baby blue uniforms, so the first day being to watch when they're right.
Yeah.
You invite for that more often?
The baby blues, yeah. It's pretty cool to, like I said, I was thinking about it, to be the first home run ever at Globe Life Field, and then also to be wearing the baby blues for the first time pretty much ever, all baby blues, and to hit a home run, like it just made it a little bit more special. Yeah, I mean, I think they looked all right. I didn't think they looked too bad. I'm sure Twitter maybe had different thoughts, but yeah, I liked them a lot. I think it's a pretty cool mix up between our basic jerseys that we have.
Anything else for them go, Mac?
Joey, you kind of mentioned it a second ago, but if you could expand on the idea that are players too aware that the season is only 60 games, and as a result, just maybe trying to do everything in a short amount of time, as opposed to just sort of letting it happen the way you guys normally do?
Yeah, it's different, because like I said, in a normal season we lose, these 2 games, and it's like, well, it's only 3 games, we're 1 and 2. But in a season where it's only 60 games, every single game means so much, and every single pitcher, when they give up a run, it means more, and it's just because everything's so condensed. So for me, I think I almost had the mentality where I had nothing to lose. I'm just going to play with house money. I had a week and a half to get ready. If I do well, I do well, but I wasn't trying to put too much pressure on myself because I knew the circumstances a little bit. So I think in a way it almost helped me mentally, because I just kind of went out there with no pressure, like I'm just going to play. So, like I said, I can't speak for anybody on the team and whatnot, but, in a 60-game season, you're going to press a little more because it's, you have a shorter amount of time to prove yourself and to put up numbers and whatnot and to win games. So I think that's going to affect all teams, at some point for sure.